Long time no see, guys. It's December 23rd. It's 3 days before Christmas. And I got off work at 4 and then went and got some gas and stuff, and then now I'm headed up to Louisiana. I'll be up there from tonight until January 4th. I'll be hunting every day between now and then. Hoping to shoot a nice buck or something. But I think what I'm going to do is prop my little shotgun. And I think I'm going to squirrel hunt both of those days and just dedicate both of them to scouting, so I can find, you know, a bunch of different spots, hopefully that have really good sign that I can hop around, just to set myself up good for the rest of the trip. We're going to be on the lookout for scrapes. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. Try to find a trail that has scrapes on it, rubs, or an area that has a big cluster of scrapes that are fresh. And it's supposed to rain tonight, so any sign I find tomorrow or the next day should be fresh. But I've shot a few deer in Louisiana. I've only shot 2 bucks on public land, which was a spike and a 6-point with my rifle last year. But I've never shot an 8-point in Louisiana, so that's pretty much my goal for this year, is to try to get me an 8-point. But I mean, any rack buck will do for me. I'm just excited. This is my favorite trip I take every year, because we go up and stay with my family in Louisiana. We stay with me and my dad stay with my papa, and we hunt and visit family and everything. And I'll be there for 12 days. It'll be a nice break from work, and just be nice not being at work, and everything seems to slow down when you get up there in the country in South Louisiana. I'm gonna stop talking now because I need to drive. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy these videos. Well, I slept in a little bit this morning. Tip is, make sure you got your alarms set for your hunting trip. I just got to the first spot I wanted to scout. The road's right there behind me where my truck is at, and I just wanted to introduce y'all to Louisiana. Welcome to the jungle. There's no easy way to get around in here without making noise. A lot of people will cut a trail and they'll walk down it to where they're going to hunt at. You can't cut a trail everywhere, so the best way is just to plow through the palmettos, and that's what a lot of people do. But we're going to go scout back here. I want to scout back here because I scouted here 2 years ago, and it was really thick, and there's a lot of briars. There's some in front of me right now, and that's the kind of spots I like. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. If I find some sign, I'll bring the camera back up and we'll talk about it and look at it. Well, I scouted this morning until lunchtime, and I didn't really find anything too interesting. I really didn't even find any sign, hardly. There weren't too many oak trees back there. It was thick, but I wasn't really too impressed with the area. So I backed out and I went and ate a little bite to eat. And I just crept into a spot that I hunted last year where I shot a 6-point. And I seen 3 bucks here last year. 3 afternoons in a row I seen a 6-point that I shot, and then I seen a really nice 8-point the next afternoon. And then the afternoon after that, I had a spike walk in front of me. And this tree I'm leaning up against right here is the tree I was in when I shot the 6-point. But this place was tore up with rubs and scrapes last year, so I'm going to check it out a little bit and figure out where I'm going to end up hunting. I kind of wanted to venture off a little bit because I'm pretty sure that I know for a fact all them deer came in on the same trail, so I might go check that out. So I guess we'll see. So I just walked down right in front of the tree I hunted in. There's like some old logging ruts, and I know last year I followed them because that's kind of where all the deer came from. And I remember there being all the rubs and scrapes over here, and I'd hunted a tree and I repositioned in this area, and that's when that spike walked in front of me. But you can see a lot of the historical rubs in this area, and pretty happy to still be seeing them. Some of them could have been early season velvet rubs, but a lot of these trees are definitely scarred up from deer rubbing on them. But I want to go see if I can find them scrapes, and then if I can, I want to set up really in this area. But if it doesn't look too hot, I might still set up here, but I'm not sure. but we're going to keep looking. Here's another rub I found, and it's a lot closer to my tree. The rubs are here, just none of them are super fresh. And I'm not sure if they're really scraping super hard right now either. I'm going to try to find a tree real quick and get set up, and we'll see what we see. Alright, I just got set up. It's like 3:20. We have about 3 hours left to hunt, I guess. I set up by that big rub that was behind my original tree that I hunted in last year. The one that looked the freshest, really. I guess we'll hunt the rest of the afternoon, and hopefully we see something. Well, I scouted most of the day yesterday and then didn't really find much, and then for the afternoon I headed back to a spot where I'd seen some bucks last year, and I hunted there the last few hours of light and didn't see anything. I heard something walking off in the palmettos, but I never got to see what it was. So today I'm just going to spend the entire day scouting and squirrel hunting, so we're just going to go walk all over the place and see what we can find. I finally found my first scrape. I'm pretty deep into the public now, probably half a mile. And I'm near the border, and I think I'm going to just kind of stay a couple 100 yards off the border and just walk along it and see what I can find. Well, I scouted all day, and the only thing I found was that scrape earlier. I grabbed my stand and decided to hunt here for the afternoon. And I picked a tree. That scrape's going to be off to my left. There's some really big oak trees here, so they've got acorns all over the ground. So I'm hoping something comes by to eat them, whether it's a hog, a doe, or a buck, whatever, because you can shoot does today, and the next 2 days of rifle you can shoot does, and after that it's bucks only. But today with my bow we have a anything goes deal. So I'm gonna climb up. It's like 2 o'clock, 2:30, and we'll hunt for the rest of the afternoon, hoping we can get some action. So today's Saturday, the 26th of December, 2020, and the past 2 days I've been scouting here in Louisiana. And to be honest with you, I haven't been finding much. I have scouted 3 or 4 areas, and all I found in one of those areas so far was one scrape. And I hunted there yesterday afternoon. 45 minutes before dark, I could hear some stuff moving around me, and it sounded like deer. It didn't sound like hogs. It wasn't, chaotic like a hog is. The only other sign I found was in the area I'm in right now. And I shot a 6-point here, and I also seen an 8-point in a spike last year. But I came over here and checked it out, and there's rubs in the original spot that I hunted in. But all the deer I seen, I heard them coming from the area I'm in right now. Earlier, me and my dad decided to come with me, but I brought him over to my original spot, and we kind of walked around and scouted a little bit. And I think he's going to be hunting the east side, like the east of where my original tree is. And then I came northwest of my original tree, and that's where I heard all the deer come from. And they got some oak trees and stuff in here. More of an observation sit than anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if we seen something. But anyways, there's not really that much sign. Everyone that I've talked to as well hasn't been finding much sign either. We kind of are thinking that the rut and stuff's happening kind of late. So it's pre-rut time right now, but it's not hot pre-rut like when I shot my buck in Texas. That was like gold pre-rut time. But I think we're just before that. But anyways, I just got set up. It's 2 o'clock. We have about 3.5, 4 hours to hunt, so fingers crossed, I guess. I think she's down over there. I think I heard a crash over there, and I think I hear her kicking. It looked like after I shot her, she put her head down on the ground and took off. I don't know if I got it on camera, but I'm gonna wait a minute and then I'm gonna get down and go look for her. Hey there. Shot a doe. There's blood. Alright. Is this where she was standing at? My trees were right over there. And I found blood right here. There's blood right there. All right. And then she went through here then. It's smeared on that palmetto. There's some blood right there. A bunch of blood right here. That's a decent amount of blood right there. Now she's pumping. So she went through that. not looking too good for her right now. I don't think she went too much further. Jesus. That's what you want your bullet tray to look like, right there. And there she is. Oh no. First Louisiana kill of the season, baby. Could tell she was a young doe when she came out, but that's the kind my papa likes. Alright, I'm gonna gut her and then drag her back to my stand and let my dad hunt the rest of the afternoon. And I'm gonna leave my stand here. I think we're gonna hunt here in the morning, and then we're gonna go scout a little bit and see if we can find some scrapes and some rubs. I don't know if I got it on camera or not. It was pointed in the general direction, so I guess we'll see. Well, broke the ice here in Louisiana, and I'll be going back to the same spot tomorrow morning, and then I'm probably gonna go scout and try to set up on something better, and if not, I might go back to the same spot. But I don't want to hunt there the whole trip, so I'm gonna try to find a different area, and hopefully we can get a buck next time. Well, it's around 8:15 and I haven't seen anything yet. Pretty pumped up. I shot that doe yesterday. I was sitting here and I heard something take a step in the leaves behind me, and looked back and I seen her through the palmettos. Crept up from behind me and off to my left, and I had to bring the camera around the tree and get it on her, and then I had to turn around and shoot her from the other side of the tree. And I was having some trouble getting her on there, but you can see her head in the bottom left part of the screen when I shoot. Right above my battery, I got zip tied to the camera arm. The woods seemed pretty quiet this morning, but it's a really nice morning. I got my squirrels here. I mean, they're all over the place. And they've been tearing up the hickory tree in front of me, eating those hickory nuts. But I think I'm gonna hunt until like 10:30, and I'm gonna get down and go scout some more for a few hours, and then try to find something else to set up on for the afternoon. So I just got down, and I've been hunting on these trails they have cut in the woods in certain areas over here, and you can drive a four-wheeler down them if you are handicapped. But other than that, you gotta walk down them. And I walked down one of them, and they got a bunch of ruts and stuff in it, and I hear people driving up and down it. And then I cut off into the woods to where I shot my doe yesterday. But I was looking on the satellite, and it showed that there was a trail maybe 150 yards in front of me. So when I got down, I walked out to it, and there it was. But it's definitely not nearly as used at all compared to that other one. And I haven't seen any tracks on them. And the really small roots they have look really old. So I'm thinking maybe it's an overlooked area, and feeling kind of good. Maybe we'll find something good down here. I dropped my standoff on the trail in the palmettos and stuff, and I'm just gonna go scout, and we'll see what we can find. I Finally found something decent looking. There's a little scrape right here, and there's a bigger scrape right over there. And I put a bunch of my stuff down over by a tree I wanted to climb near there. But he's got a rub line going through all this. These two scrapes and quite a few decent rubs. But I'll walk through there and film a little bit, look around just a tad longer, and then I'm gonna get in a tree. And it should be about 1 o'clock by the time I get set up, so we'll have a long, almost 5-hour hunt this afternoon. Well, it's 1:45, and I finally got set up in a tree. It took me a while to find one that I could climb and get a decent ways up, but I'm definitely not as high as I usually like to be. I'm excited about those scrapes behind me and this rub line right here, and I mean, there's just a huge thicket in front of me where they could be bedded, and they could come out down this rub line and then go back to where in the area that I was hunting this morning and yesterday, go eat or whatever. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm just happy I'm finally set up. So sit here till dark and see what happens. That little pig almost strayed a little too far from his mama. So yesterday afternoon, I usually turn the camera off a while before I get down because it gets to a point where the camera can't see too good at all, but I still can, and they're still shooting live. And I'm not going to be screwing with the camera trying to get it on a deer that I can't see on the little display on the camera, because my main goal is to kill the deer. I want to get it on camera, but I mean, I'm not just gonna let a deer walk by me, you know. Started gathering my stuff, and I heard something coming. You know, I was getting ready to get down once it was past shooting hours, and I heard something coming, and I got ready. I finally seen it, and it was a buck. I was following him in my scope. I could see him moving through the palmettos, and he stepped out in an opening, and I put it behind the shoulder, and I shot. I think I heard him crash, and he acted like he was hit, because he was plowing, and he ran into U-shape, and then he stopped, and I think I heard him crash right there, and I could hear him kicking and stuff, and he never got any farther away. So I'm gonna go look for him this morning, and hopefully we can find him. All right, let's go find this deer.
You got something to work with now.
All right.
It's a good bit on that fucking thing right there.
What thing?
That palmetto that's upside down.
This?
There's some on this palmetto right here.
Okay, so then he definitely went that way.
Is it? No.
Man, it took him
Some right there.
a second to start bleeding. Oh, there's pretty decent blood.
Look on that
Look
grass.
at look.
That grass right there.
Look
That's
at
some
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look on that palmetto and on the grass.
Oh yeah. Right here. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's all over the palmetto. Look, there's some on that palmetto right in front of you.
Right there. Dang, did he?
Hmm?
He had to have climbed over this or jumped over this tree. Look all over
He
here.
went under it, bro.
Look at all that blood. That's got to be like.
Oh.
Okay, you got right here.
Yeah, he made a U. Like you said. Yeah.
It's all over in here. There's some here. Look right here. Oh my God, how did we miss that?
Yeah, easily.
Right there. All over this palmetto. And there's some right here. Okay, right here. He must be stumbling around, because it's pretty like erratic. Oh yeah, that's good bubbly blood. Right here.
I bet you fell down right here. You got hair. See how it's like a bunch of blood? And different blood.
Yeah. Goes this way. Okay, and there's some right here. And right there. Okay. A little bit there.
You got some more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta break up the crawling method.
Some more hair on the
Does he think that was a chunk of lung?
On that one spot, like a while ago that we had found, it looked like.
I don't know what the hell else that would have been unless it was fat.
It looked like one thing.
But that blood is looking, that blood back there looked really good. You know?
Yeah.
There's some right here. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it could have been fat. And it did kind of slow down, but I guess something could have plugged it.
Yeah.
On this one. He's come a long ways.
Yeah.
So I filmed some of the trailing on my GoPro that I'll probably put here on the video, but I got to my stand this morning after it got daylight and started looking around, and I found a piece of hair kind of where I thought he was at when I shot him. And then my dad met up with me, and then we eventually found where he was at when I shot him. There was hair all over the place. We started following blood. The blood looked really good for 100 yards probably, and it started petering out. And we weren't really sure what had happened, but we kept trailing him. 400 yards or so later, we found him right here. And it's definitely not how you want to find your deer. He was eaten up by the coyotes. He was bedding down a lot, from what we could tell, and we were wondering why. And my papa said maybe he was bedding and then those coyotes started jumping him. And then they finally got after him. I think he had bedded down really close from where I shot him, because we had found a bed right there. But I think maybe them coyotes started jumping him, and that's why it took us so long to find him. We didn't really have a choice to leave him though, because you got to be out of this public land by 8:30. And instead of going after him and maybe jumping him, we backed out and we came back. And I guess there's really nothing I can do about it. I mean, he's a beautiful buck, and I'm really happy. I'm just, I don't know, I'm kind of tore up about the coyotes getting to him, but we're going to drag him out of here and get as much as we can off of him. Well, yesterday afternoon we ended up getting the deer loaded up in the truck and brought it back to my papa's house, and we skinned him and took all the meat off we could and put it in the ice chest. I was really worried about the meat maybe being spoiled and too tore up by the coyotes, but honestly it looked a lot worse than it really was. They really only opened up his belly and they ate his liver and most of his stomach, and they nibbled on one of the hindquarters a little bit. But besides that, one hindquarter and the tenderloins, we took everything else off of it. That other hindquarter, the two front shoulders, both back straps, and the neck roast, and then some other chunks of meat off the rib cage and stuff to grind up for sausage. So I'm happy about that. I was pretty upset with myself. But looking back on it, there's really nothing I could do about the coyotes. Because if I would have went and trailed him that night, I would have jumped him. And then we might not have found him. Because the shot ended up, it went in right in front of his left hindquarter, and it came out low on the opposite hindquarter. Now, I don't know if I just made a bad shot, or if it, hit something, or whatever. Or if he was quartering harder towards me than I thought he was, I don't know. But that bullet broke one of his back legs. But it hit enough arteries and stuff to where he was going to lay down and bleed out. And we found a bed probably 75 yards from where he was at when I shot him. And if he wouldn't have been bothered, I think we would have found him there yesterday morning, early. But what we're thinking is, I bet you we found about 12 or so spots where he laid down and bedded, because there was blood in kind of a circular area and it was matted on the leaves. And we think those coyotes were pushing him all night. But we trailed him yesterday for probably 5 hours or so, for about 400, 500 yards. And we just were crawling through the palmettos the whole time looking for blood. And I wasn't going to give up. You know, we were still finding blood, and we found so many beds. He had to have, to me, we were going to find him if we could, you know, keep finding at least some blood. One thing I wanted to also say is, pretty much right before we found him, we found a spot where he took a crap on the ground, and there was blood in his crap. Me and my dad were talking about that, and then we talked to my papa about it, and he said, blood in the crap means you got guts. And he said, a lot of times when you find that, they're in pretty bad shape, and you know they're gonna be dead, and you're gonna find them if you can keep finding blood, or if you get lucky and stumble upon them. But to me, the most important thing is I didn't make the best shot. I don't know if it was my fault or not, but it doesn't really matter. I made a bad shot, but we didn't give up on that deer. We kept trailing it. We were gonna find it, and we did. And that's to me, that's the most important thing. We got, you know, really most of the meat off of it, as much as we could. And to me, that's what's important. And I think now, after all that, I'm finally really happy. Because he was a beautiful buck. That's the nicest deer I've ever shot in Louisiana. But anyways, enough of this dramatic crap. Well, I just got to the area I kind of wanted to hunt this afternoon. I've been walking this trail to get to that spot I shot my buck in the other day, and I kept walking by this area on this trail right here, and the afternoon I shot my buck. When I was walking out, I jumped some deer right here, and I've been looking at it as I'm walking in and out, and I mean, it's just covered up in trails, and they got some big rubs in here too. So I think what I'm gonna do is scout around on each side of the trail maybe, and see if I can find a more, you know, sign-heavy area in the woods that I can hunt. Because I don't think you're supposed to hunt on these trails, which I wouldn't anyways, even if you could. But I'm going to show you those big rubs that are right here, and then we're going to go scout on one of the sides. I'm not really sure which one yet. I kind of assumed those were some hogs. My gun wasn't even loaded because I don't think you're supposed to have it loaded on that trail, but I just got to one side of the woods. They got some good acorns right here. And, I mean, they're good. They're not rotten. And that trail goes off that way, kind of towards where those hogs were, and veers off to the left. But I'm gonna head in here to see if we can find some sign, and I'm gonna hunt it. They got a lot of deer back here, for sure. And that one I shot's not the only buck. It for sure isn't the only good buck back here. So I'll go try to find another one in this general area. That trail's right there. We just walked into the woods. I was kind of trying to stay in line with those big rubs right there. Check this out. If you kind of noticed, them rubs go that way. I mean, it tells me he was walking that way, probably from his bed. because all the rubs are on this side, and he's gonna rub it the way he's going, I would think. So we're on a rub line here, so I'd like to get 100 yards or so off of this trail before I set up, but I think we're gonna hunt here. I mean, there's trails all over the place. I jumped deer here. We got a rub line, so we got something to work with. And I wouldn't be surprised if we found a scrape back in here too. And I jumped multiple deer the other night, so there's probably some does too. I shot my doe in this general area as well, so I mean, like I said, they got deer, so let's go find a tree. So I followed a rub line back here. Some good looking rubs. I don't even remember if I filmed them or not, but I got pictures of them. There's 3 of them coming from where that grass and those rubs were on the trail. And I got up on this old, these logging ruts right here. And there's a big briar patch in front of me, and it looks thick in there. So I'm thinking maybe one bed's in there, or back here somewhere. So I'm gonna try to look for a rub real quietly along the edge of here. Maybe going into that. And my setup so I can I'll put my back to the briar patch, and I'll be looking back towards that trail. You never know what's gonna happen, but I feel good about this spot, so I'm gonna try to find a tree, and then we're gonna climb it and set up, and we'll see what happens. Look how they've been using this logging ruts to walk through the woods quietly. I don't know if you can see all the tracks. But they're going both ways. Coming in through here. It turns off to the left over there. It's pretty obvious they've been walking up and down these ruts right here, so I'm just pick a spot that looks like maybe it's got a tunnel or something coming out of them briars or something. Maybe some rubs or a scrape. We're gonna set up. We need to get in a tree now. It's looking good. I found me a little rub right here on this these ruts. Oh my god. Here's another one right here. Yeah, we on him, Bubba. Let's get in a tree. Finally set up in a tree. It took me a long time to find one, and I'm really not in the tree I want it to be, I guess. All the trees around here are pretty much dead. I mean, there's some, like all the trees that are still alive are just oak trees and little tiny trees that I can't climb. I was gonna climb, I think that tree right there you can see behind me, one of those, but it had a big hole at the base and it was hollow on the inside, so I said, well, I better find a better dead tree to climb. But there was 3 piles of deer crap right next to it, so I just moved over and climbed the one I'm in, which it's a dead, dying tree too, but it's I mean, the bark is soft, so it's comfortable. I don't know. I need to hunt here though. I didn't know what else to do, so I'm in this tree. But it's 3 o'clock now. We're gonna hunt for 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's pretty much dark, and then we're gonna head out of here. Hope we can get some cool footage for this afternoon. I'm pretty excited. I've been pretty tired recently, so I slept in a little bit again. But I got some editing and stuff done, and got some videos and stuff downloaded to my computer, and so it wasn't a loss or anything. And I was just gonna come hunt here anyways, and then tomorrow it's supposed to storm all day, but it's looking like we might be able to get a morning hunt out of it. I don't know. So we can't really do much until the rain passes tomorrow anyways. I like this spot though, and there's a lot of sign, and I think after tomorrow I'm gonna come back and give it another shot. I don't know, that might change. Who knows what I'm gonna end up doing, really. It's always on the fly. But we have, I don't know, 3.5 hours to hunt probably. So we'll see if something comes out before dark. I think I got it on my gun camera. I had a trash bag around my camera because it was raining earlier. But I had a doe walk out to my right, and she passed by, and I heard something else coming, and it was a little 4-point. He was following her, had his nose down. A bigger buck might come by. I think I got it on my gun camera though. I just took the trash bag off because it doesn't seem like it's gonna rain anymore. My legs are shaking. I could have smoked that 4-point, but it's Friday morning. I just got set up, and I'm set up by some white oaks, and there's a bunch of acorns on the ground, and there's a couple rubs in here. And it looks like there's a trail that runs through here too. I'm on a completely different handicap trail or whatever, and this is the area that my deer actually died in. So I wanted to come kind of check it out, but I probably won't make another hunt here. I'll probably hunt here until, I don't know, 9 or 10, and get down and go scout some more back there, and then we'll find something better. Well, it's only about 7:45, and the spot doesn't look too bad, but I'm feeling antsy about going scout, so I think I'm gonna just get down. I'm gonna walk down one of these trails. I want to walk all the way down it, or at least, most of the way down it, and then I'm gonna ditch my stuff, and then we'll go scout and try to find something good like we did when I shot that 7-point. So I'm gonna get down, and I'll see y'all in a bit. So I crept up on a sow and her piglets. I wanted to show y'all really quickly. There's a lot of rubs in this area, but I heard them next to me, so I climbed a tree behind me. I almost got a shot on them. But I wanted to show you what I found. Their nest is right here. All the piglets were laying in there, and I guess that's what I seen take off. But this is what a hog nest looks like, at least in Louisiana. They'll strip the palmettos, and they'll make a little nest on the ground. And when it's really fresh, when the babies just got born, there'll be blood in it and stuff. But here it is right here. You don't want to be screwing around with a big sow and her pigs, especially when they're that little. So there's a rub right there. I think I'm gonna get out of here. But man, that would have been so cool if I would have shot that sow out of that tree. But I'm gonna go keep scouting, and then I'm gonna go set up for the afternoon and the rest of the day, really. Well, it's 1:34. Just got in my stand. I kind of scouted this area, and it's really more of the same. It's kind of like that spot where I seen the doe in the 4-point. They got some ruts coming in through here, I guess from old logging equipment, and they got rubs on them and stuff, and briars and everything. Pretty similar setup. The only difference between this spot and the other spots I've been hunting is some guys closer to the trail, they have there's a lock on and a ladder stand over there. So I had to push in deeper into this piece because just to get all away from them, But these ruts are kind of parallel to that trail back there. And there's another set of ruts that's parallel to the trail that those ladder stands are on. So I'm on the one deeper into the woods. So maybe the fact that those stands are on that first one pushed them onto this one, or I don't know. But we'll see what happens. Let's go, baby. I don't care, it's a 4-point man, I'm pumped. Oh. Yes. Man, I kept hearing something over there. And for a while I thought it might have just been a squirrel, and then I kind of heard it start making some noise. And then I was like, well, maybe it's a hog. And it started to come out, and I was like, man, there's no way a hog's not making more noise than that. I finally seen his head come out, and it was that little buck. It just worked out too perfect, man. I passed on that little buck the other day, but just felt like shooting this one. Alright, he's down right there. He's dead, so I'm gonna get down and we can go surprise my dad and my papa. I think he's a beautiful little buck. It's the best thing about hunting by water. Clean everything off. All right, there he is. Tagged, ready to drag. I'm gonna leave my stand here and hunt here in the morning and probably the afternoon too. I'm not really sure. I only have tomorrow and then Sunday morning, so I might hunt here the rest of the time. I think it's a good spot. I mean, I shot a buck here, but there's other ones around, and they really are just starting to move. They just really started putting sign down hard, and soon they'll be cruising hard and then chasing. I don't really have much time left, but I'll hunt here tomorrow morning and we'll see what happens, I guess. But I'm gonna drag this buck out, and my papa and my dad are actually hunting in one of our box stands behind my papa's house. They're hunting together in a stand for the first time in who knows how long. So I don't know if they got anything or seen anything, but I haven't told them anything, so I'm gonna go try to surprise them. Well, that's pretty much in for my 2020-2021 deer season. I think this will be the last hunt I'm making, and I mean, I had a great season, the best season I've ever had. My biggest buck with my bow ever, and really my biggest buck with my rifle ever too, over here in Louisiana. I got most of them on camera, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty much do it for the Louisiana trip. I hope you guys liked watching me and Corey's first season filming. Leave a like and subscribe or whatever, and tell your friends about us if you like us and think they'll like us too. But these will probably be the last deer hunting videos posted until next season. We might post some turkey hunting. I think Corey's going on some trip to hunt caribou or something. But besides that, I'll probably post some bass fishing stuff. Another season down and another good one. And hope y'all have a good 2021. See y'all later.